Hi everybody. Today we're going to have Suzanne read her book, Jamie the Germ Slayer, to you. And this is one of the books I'm really proud of. And let me have her explain to you what it is and why she wrote it and read it to you.
Get the camera over here.
There we go.
Hello. So yep, this is Jamie the Germ Slayer in a place called Little While. And I wrote it because it seems like when we're this state of pandemic, it almost feels like a place. It's not real life anymore, and it's almost like we're stuck in a place. And I wanted to create a resource for parents to have for kids who are coping with all of this stuff that's no longer new, but it's difficult. So let's read it together. Don't you want to have a little bit of afternoon story time? So here we go. Jamie the Germ Slayer. Oh, I wanted to say that the illustrations, aren't they fabulous? You're seeing the text backwards, but the illustrations are colorful and gorgeous, and they were created by a wonderful illustrator named Dan Hayes. I don't like what's happening lately. The playground is closed, school is canceled, and one of my nanas is sick. There's Jamie with her family, looking kind of unhappy, and parents staring at their screens like parents do. Will things get back to normal soon, I ask. I'm afraid it's going to be a little while, Jamie, Mama replies. You always say that, because it's always true. It's like we're stuck here, I say. We are kind of stuck and waiting. Waiting for what? Waiting to go home again. I snuggle in closer. Her voice sounds like this is turning into a story. In a place called Little While, Mama says, the people are strong and their enemies are tricksters. Tricksters how, I ask. They're tiny, invisible flying machines, very tricksterish. How tiny? So tiny they hide in our sneezes. And here's the illustration. You can see that person sneezing and all the little trickster virus hanging out in the sneezes. Oh, I sighed. You mean the coronavirus. I'm sick of hearing about it all the time. The trickster virus wants us to be tired of it, so we'll let our guard down. But we're smarter than that. And stronger, I say. Much stronger. In a place called Little While, Mama says, there are helpers everywhere working to heal the sick, making sure people have food, and keeping everyone safe. They're called essential workers, right? Right. Because the things they do are especially important, the rules for them are a little bit different. They're like superheroes. I don't want anyone to get sick, but I'm glad the mail carrier is an essential worker. My birthday is next week, and the nanas usually send me cards. So here's Jamie watching the mail carrier delivering some mail. Maybe there's a card from their nana. In a place called Little While, Mama says, we wear masks when we go out in public because we're superheroes too. And to keep us from sneezing the virus on other people, right? Right. Which superhero am I? Who would you like to be? I'm Jamie the Germ Slayer. Hail, Jamie the Germ Slayer. Mama raises her arm like she's lifting a sword, and we both giggle. The masks Mama made aren't very comfortable, but saving people is what superheroes do, so I wear one anyway. There's Jamie being in their superhero outfit with some other superheroes who fight the virus. In a place called Little While, Mama says, bubbles are deep magic. That's because soap breaks down the walls of the virus, right? Right. But bubbles are also beautiful, and they love being sung to. I'm getting tired of always singing happy birthday when I wash my hands, I say. Then let's choose a different song. She starts singing the one that makes me dance around the kitchen. We keep adding soap until our hands are white and foamy. Some bubbles come loose and fly into the air. They really do seem to like music. There's Jamie washing their hands and seeing all the bubbles flying into the air. In a place called Little While, Mama says, we activate our force fields so no enemies can get in. That's when we stay 6 big steps away from other people, right? Right. Maybe we should practice so we know what 6 big steps look like. We jump up to try it. It turns out Jamie the Germ Slayer can take really big steps. And there's Jamie at the park, and you can see everybody's staying 6 steps away from each other. In a place called Little While, Mama says, people can't touch their faces. That's because the sneeze-traveling virus hides on our hands, right? Right. Even though we wash them really well, the enemy is a trickster. It tries to enter through the eyes, nose, or mouth, but if it can't get in, it can't make people sick. So not touching faces is an extra defense. Maybe the people in Little While should wear helmets. Some do, but it's hard to wear a helmet all the time. She was probably right. It would get hot in the summer and fogged up from my breath in the winter. There's Jamie wearing a helmet and some rubber gloves for extra safety. In a place called Little While, Mama says, kids use weapons to fight the enemy. You don't let me play with toy weapons. These weapons aren't toys, they're bioblasters. You're talking about the disinfectant we use to clean the groceries and light switches, right? Right. So if I help get rid of some of the virus, that means there's less flying around making people sick. Yes, that's why they call you Jamie the Germ Slayer, protector of persons. Cleaning isn't my favorite chore, but fighting the enemy with bioblasters seems pretty cool. There's Jamie fighting the virus by spraying it with disinfectant. Now the boys are hearing something outside Uncle Pimple and Philip, so they're doing a little bit of barking. In a place called Little While, Mama says, kids have school at home. That's because when people gather in groups, the virus can spread really quickly, right? Right. The enemy loves being able to jump from desk to desk and from person to person. But the people are smart. And strong, I say. Very strong. So the people in Little While use technology instead of going to school, I say. Like the astronauts in space communicating to mission control. Exactly like that. I miss being with my friends at school, but if it means stopping the virus from spreading, it's worth it. And there's Jamie talking to their friends from school and doing some schoolwork on the computer. In a place called Little While, Mama says, whole worlds exist within individual houses. It's like the colonies they might build on Mars, right? Right. Their homes are safe spaces where people have everything they need inside. We've been staying home a lot instead of going to the movies or restaurants or visiting the nanas, I say. Mama nods. I'm glad our colony has a yard, I say, so Jamie the Germ Slayer can get some exercise. Exercise is important for superheroes, Mama says. There's Jamie swinging in their backyard. In a place called Little While, Mama says, people can feel worried and frustrated. You were frustrated when we ran out of bread this morning, right? Right. It's tiring to fight the enemy all the time, but even when we're grumpy, families still love each other. Even Jamie the Germ Slayer gets grumpy sometimes, I say. Superheroes are only human, Mama says. There's one mama talking on the phone and looking worried, and the other parent is giving Jamie hugs and cuddles, letting them know everything is all right. In a place called Little While, Mama says, lots of people are working to figure out how to defeat the enemy. Doctors are learning the best way to treat sick people like Nana, right? Right. And scientists are developing a vaccine like the shots I get before school starts in the fall. Yes. And once that happens, we can leave Little While. Things will go back to normal? Most things. But there might be a few differences. What kind of differences? We'll have to wait and see. Things change when you've been away. There's a picture of all the scientists working on creating vaccines and treatments. There are some good things about being in a place called Little While, Mama says. Like playing board games and having dance-offs, right? Right. And until we can get back to regular life, we'll keep fighting the trickster enemies together. I'm Jamie the Germ Slayer, ready for battle. You certainly are. Now let's go have supper. And we did. So there's the family eating supper together, having spaghetti, and living life as normally as possible. So that's Jamie the Germ Slayer in a place called Little While. We decided to do a little story time this afternoon. If you've got little ones and you need to give them a little bit of a distraction, they could watch this reading. And also on my author website, which is www.sdwithhall.com, there are some coloring sheets and activity pages based on the illustrations from this book. Some black and white drawings and a bunch of different activities, word searches and mazes and things like that to keep your kids busy, that are also good reinforcement tools for the things that we're all having to do right now. And it looks like it's going to be a while that we have to keep doing it. We're so stuck in this place called Little While. I hope you guys are all being safe and careful, and hug your little ones extra tight, okay? Take care. If I can get the finish button to